Hey, what is up? This is Katrina from inkatwetrust, and I am back with another interview with a new awesome guest. And today I have with me Rembrandt. How are you, sir?
I'm blessed. I'm a black man living in America. I can't complain.
Well, I mean, that's
I
black
could, but
man.
I won't.
Yeah. So jumping right into this, you've been having a big few months in wrestling. I feel like you've been really grinding and doing the thing, and so what? How is the experience being like? You are what, a triple champion, double champion, triple
Double
champion?
champion.
Yeah, like how is that experience? 'Cause I feel like carrying multiple belts seem cool, but as I don't wrestle, I wouldn't know. But like, how's that experience? Kind of just being at the top of different promotions divisions, if you will.
Hmm. I will say humbly, it's a dream come true. Humbly, it's a dream come true. I've always dreamt about being a champion, always dreamt about being the main event. Uh Earlier in my career, I didn't feel like it was gonna happen at all. But thankfully, I stuck with it and shit turned around. Uh but if I'm being honest, like I'm right where I should be, honestly speaking. I'm right where I should be. It's no accident I have these titles. It's no accident I've been a champion for the better part of what? Uh, 2 years? I've had a 2, 3 years. I've at least had a championship at all times. So I feel like I'm doing good.
You are at least one of the factions you are part of is Federated.
Federated.
So I have to ask, how did that kind of come about? As far as you guys are very different. Like you guys are similar as far as like how you guys I guess view things, but you guys are also very different as far as personalities, at least from what I've seen. So how did that come about, and would you say it's more easier being with a group of guys that you can kind of share a little with, or would you rather it a solo type of journey?
Mm. Well, to answer your last question first, usually I prefer to be on my own. It's usually easier that way. Uh, I'm confident in myself. I can get the job done. I got it. But with Federated, it is different. Only in the sense of like we're genuinely friends. Like love Abe, I love Cuzzo, I love my youth, Young Lion, and of course, the man behind it all, Mr. Martinez. This is all his baby. When I came to Battle Club, I was kind of lost. Ain't really know what to do, and he's seen it and he scooped me up. And since then, I can really credit, yeah, I can really credit him with things turning around. I mean, after joining Federated, I started winning gold, being featured more, main event Rembrandt, all that good stuff. But it's a lot easier when organically you get along with these people. So my boys, Federated, like the squad shit right there.
Nice. I have, I've seen some of the stuff that's been going on with Federated, and Patricia has been a part of some of the festivities. She has
Shout
been,
out Patricia.
yeah, she was, very appreciative being a part of the festivities. Um, you mentioned coming into Battle Club lost, and so I guess going into wrestling, what was one of the hardest things for you to learn about wrestling, but also about yourself if you wanted to be successful in wrestling?
To answer the first question, I think the hardest part of all of this is continuing the grind without any reassurances. Usually, like if you work a shoot job, 9 to 5 job, whatever, usually you can see the promotion like right in front of you. With this one, it's kind of hard. Like we're all making our own ways. We're all independent contractors. Some people might get signed from a Twitter video. Others might have to wrestle 20, 40, 30 years before they get their big break. I don't know. But that part is scary. Like not having any reassurance or any clear paths or anything like that. But it has taught me a lot about myself, especially resilience. Uh, if you would have told me 10 years ago I'd still be doing this shit, I would have laughed at you. Uh, if you would have told me as a kid, I thought it would be cool, but then the thought of hurting myself would have been like, maybe not. But every day I wake up and like I'm still grinding. Like my body hurts. I've got injuries, whatever, so have you. Every wrestler's grind, but the shit makes me happy, so I keep doing it.
I respect that. I say to people all the time when I hear that we do wrestle, I'm like, God no. Like, that's not my thing. I feel like that's a very different level of just dedication that I do not have. Like I like what I do backstage or whatever, but I
Hmm.
cannot like everybody who's like wrestling has to take bumps. I cannot. I did it, and I was just like, oh no. So
Yeah.
that's not my jam. So I definitely anybody who's in there 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, it's always like super awesome to me because it's like you guys stuck with it. What would you say is the biggest like piece of advice anybody may have given you in your career so far?
There's two pieces of advice that stuck with me. The first one was Dustin Rhodes. Uh, I was at AEW Dark, and he basically told me like, "Hey, man, less is more. Slowing down, like, just reassuring me that like I have the talent, I have the look, all of this. I just, have to keep putting in the work and wrestling smarter, not wrestling, doing things because I feel like I have to. But there's a lot of I don't want to give away too much of what he said, but it was very, very important, and it helped me a lot. Like once I applied that advice, my ring work, success, all of that started coming way more. Um, the other person I would say he's not too fond of me right now, but Joakim Morales, Mr. Battle Club owner, uh, despite what might be going on now, before all this craziness started happening, he told me one day just focus on keeping my peace. Don't let anyone else, outside voices, fuck up what I got going on right now. Between that and him, giving me the main event Rembrandt nickname and instilling confidence in me, I feel like those two moments in my career are probably why I am where I am now.
I can appreciate that. I know you do have a lot of stuff going on with your Kim, and I understand. I'm trying to dabble too much into that, but I did see you on AEW Dark, so I did watch that match. How was that experience? I feel like anytime I've ever seen some people who've like gone on AEW Dark and they want to being signed, but then some people I feel like definitely have maybe elevated in a way because of that
Mhm.
opportunity. So how was that experience for you as far as just being in AEW, being on a dark match, kind of being exposed to more wrestling
Well, the thing about that is I did it during COVID, so there was no wrestling fans there. Um, but I will say, just being around somewhere I guess I want to be, being around the locker room, being around guys who are in positions, guys and girls who are in positions that I want to be in, was reassuring. Like looking around and be like, oh, okay, I can see myself here. I can hang. Uh, it was just very reassuring. Like I went from having this thought of like, wow, I'm around people that used to look up to, and now I'm like, no, I'm just around my peers, and that's a very reassuring and confident feeling.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, COVID wrestling was a time. It really was.
Oh
I,
God, don't remind me.
definitely was a time. I mean, I feel like some people thrived, but it was also very weird. I feel like wrestling shows, outside of fans being weird, fans make the show. Fans make excited about a match and make you feel other things. Like when something gets real crazy, and oh my god, and you're like all into it. I feel like that's definitely something that wrestling happens when there's fans. What would you say has been your favorite match that you have wrestled so far, and who has been your favorite opponent?
Wow, that's tough. My absolute favorite match. Uh Probably right now, probably my most recent PPW title defense against Dio Bando. Sure, I walked out, got the count out win, but I stuck on my belt. But before that, just being in there with someone who is just as talented as Dio, athletic, uh, the crowd just loves him. Uh, it felt like being in there with the inverse of myself. I can be very scummy and stuff like that. And Dio's very pure. But in ring wise, like just even though I took an ass whooping, it was just one of those matches that you just feel right about afterwards. So I would definitely say that one.
Okay, all right. So I have to ask you. I feel like I always ask this question just because I'm always curious, but I think it's also really important. So May was Mental Health Awareness Month, in June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And so, what is something you do to unplug, to recharge, to kind of do some self care, something that's just for you, and it's not wrestling related, it's not job related, it's just something to kind of get yourself back in a good space, whatever that may be. What is something you do to unplug?
My main thing, I'm a weed smoker, honestly. Apart from helping with my body, it just always mellows me out. Uh I do like to play video games. Usually that's my comfort thing until they piss me off too. But um, other than that, I love music. I can sit down and just get high and vibe to music, uh, LED lights, shit like that. And I don't know, just listening to music itself, like it's a spiritual thing, and music can talk to you if you let it.
I definitely agree. What is some of your favorite like artists, or like what's your favorite genre of music?
So I'm not gonna lie, my favorite artists usually switch around often based on what I got going on in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I'm always into J. Cole, but I'm really into that Mexican OT, that Bunny. I'm trying to think who else. Recently I've gone back and like re-listened to like 50, Lloyd Banks, G Unit, stuff like that. So I'm kind of on a early 2000s bling era kick right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But yeah, definitely love hip hop. I love rock. I love R&B. R&B especially. My favorite R&B song right now I think is Snooze by SZA. You got uh Telepatia by Kali Uchis. So there's a lot of music that I like.
Okay, okay. I definitely remember the G Unit era. Uh,
What a time, what a
every,
time.
everybody at the G Unit. So I know I gotta ask now because you mentioned that. What is your favorite G Unit song?
My favorite G Unit song. So we talking about everybody together?
Which it can be everybody together, or it can be even AM solo, because they
I
did have
bet, bet, bet.
solo pieces
So
too.
G Unit as a unit, my favorite song is I'll Whip Your Head. My favorite song by 50 is oh fuck, it's hard to choose my favorite song from 50. But I will probably say yeah, no, I can't pick a favorite from 50. I love all his shit, honestly. But for Lloyd Banks, I would say Playboy from Young Buck, I Know You Want Me, Tony Yayo, Pimpin'.
Okay, good, solid choices. I do think 50 Cent have a good amount of songs. It's kind of hard to choose them. I agree with you there. He's like
Yeah, he
honestly,
iconic at this point.
he's definitely my favorite one of G Unit. I definitely feel
Facts. We all had the little do rag with the Gina tanks and the sneakers. We was out here, man.
well, not me, but
I
I
was
was
out
thinking,
here.
no,
I
no,
was the G
listen,
Unit shoulder.
I I knew a few of my friends who definitely did it. It wasn't me. I was such a like, what's the word? I was like, how is because I didn't go to like a uniform school. It was more so like I was just very simple. Like,
Hmm.
give me like some pink or some black, and I was good. But I kind of like knew the rap stuff, knew the R&B stuff, knew the rock people. But my high school was really small, so that's probably why too. But
Yeah.
so you said you're a gamer, so I have
Hmm.
to ask favorite video game that you gotta even piss you off because I have games that piss me off too. So I hear you.
uh, my favorite video game, definitely Zelda: Ocarina of Time. You can put NBA 2Ks up there. They will always piss me off, but I can't not play for whatever reason. Um, Obviously, as a wrestling fan, WWE games, shit like that. When I was younger, I was really big into like Gears of War, Halo, and shit like that. Call of Duty. I dabble in Call of Duty here and there, but not as much as I used to. Uh, Grand Theft Auto, shit like that. I like to explore, but I'm also one of those people that like if you can probably get me to play if my friends are playing,
Hmm.
but if not, I'll be like in such a low bubble that sometimes I don't even realize the new shit be out. So
No, I just Gears of War is one of my favorite games, honestly, of all time as far as story. Like I love a good story and
yes.
share, and also shooting things. I like to shoot things. So um,
Sometimes you got to get it out your system.
yeah, I know. People always question because I'm like I'm guns I'm go guns blazing. That's always my first thing. I'm like, oh, I'm shooting everything. So that sounds really violent now that I'm saying it like that
I'm
out
about to
loud.
say you got to get out that aggression.
But I definitely am like I would shoot anything like mad times if it's dead. Like okay, but it's dead, right? So like
Just got to make
I don't
sure.
know. I definitely like Gears of War. I cannot like two NBA 2K. My ex husband, every time he bought that game, and I used to watch him every time, and I'm like, dude, you do this every year. You buy the game, and now you piss. And then he used to play with this group of friends of his, but apparently they weren't good. And so then he was complaining. I'm like listening to him like bitch about it like for hours, and I'm like, maybe get a new squad. I don't know. Like if this is every year you complaining that they suck, I feel like you might need a good new squad. Like you can love your friends, but also a new squad.
It's
That's
an
his.
abusive relationship, but you got to be loyal. That's what it is.
Like every year I'm like my guy, please you have not learned it yet. It's like every year you do this to yourself and I piss off. But to be fair, I say this like I don't play Dead by Daylight would piss me off like all the time. It's not the game so much, it's people because you have to play that game with other random people unless you're playing with a group of friends. And the
Hmm.
random people, I'm just like, yo, you guys, like, what are we doing? And so that was literally me yesterday. I was like, oh, y'all playing, y'all pissing me off. So understand. What would you say the again, as wrestlers, you guys travel. I don't know how far you've traveled yet, which that would lead me to another question. But what is would you say is like the easiest part of having to be on the road, and then the hardest part about being on the road?
Um, it depends. So if I'm traveling solo, the easiest part of being on the road is the fact that like it's the freedom. Like, you get to put your music up, travel, look at scenery, all that good stuff. Hardest part about it, and this goes for whether I'm by myself or in a group, is just the sacrifices you make. A lot of times, I'm missing birthdays, I'm missing friendship events or whatever, so have you. Like missing is a bad word, I feel, because I'm sacrificing a lot. I understand that. Um, but when I'm traveling in a group, the easiest thing is just the camaraderie, being there, being around like-minded people. They're all sacrificing, whether it's away from your kids or your family, your job, whatever, so have you. Like, we're all sharing the same feelings of like, hey, we're in this crazy business, doing crazy shit with crazy people. And what better life is there, There's a lot of
Yeah,
memories to be made in those moments. And I'm sure there's shit that I'm gonna remember fucking 30, 40 years from now, God willing, that'll be like, man, that made all those sacrifices worth it.
yeah, I definitely understand. I feel like, and I don't realize that I don't wrestle, so my schedule isn't as crazy as like wrestler schedule. But I definitely feel I'm like, oh crap, and so that's why like certain events I'm like, I'm sorry, wrestling will never come over that for my kids at least, just because
No,
because
yeah.
being a mom. But I definitely sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel bad because the whole weekend I'm gone, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, guys. you see me for like an hour, and I'm like, well, I gotta go, and I'll make something real quick, and then I have to go to the next thing. So I definitely understand that. Is there a place that you would love to travel or go to where you would like to wrestle a show at? That can be in the U.S. or outside the U.S.
I think for sentimental reasons, I would love to wrestle in Puerto Rico just because I am half Puerto Rican. So I would relish the opportunity just because of my culture, uh, being close. I'm not really informed on my black side as I am with my Puerto Rican side. So just having, I feel something that would be close to my history and legacy would be amazing to perform there. Uh, Outside of there, and this is cliche as fuck, but like I just really do want to wrestle everywhere because I love experiencing new places and people. Uh, I would love to wrestle in Mexico. I've been to Japan, but I would love to wrestle in Japan. Um, I want to go to the UK. Like this, I just want to travel, honestly. And thankfully, wrestling is a gig that, you know, gives me the opportunity to do that. But I just feel like there's so much beauty in the world. And it'd be crazy to just pick one place. Like I want to see everything. Oh, as much as I can.
No, I love that. I definitely think there's so much just in general for people to see. I always tell my kids, my sister is always somewhere. I always joke like I'm like she's home, and the next minute she's like somewhere else. They're like, girl, do you ever do you ever stay home? She's always like traveling and everything. And I tell my kids that's what I want for them, like to just get older and then live and travel and just see everything. And guys
Yeah,
girls
there's
and
so much
everything.
life and shit to experience out there, seriously. And so
Like,
many like different ways of thinking and operating and stuff like that. Like I tell people all the time, we're so stuck in our little American bubble that any opportunity to pop that shit is amazing.
we are. As Americans, we definitely are in a bubble, but I definitely think that it's always nice to see what's outside of that bubble. Just even living like leaving your state. I feel like when I went to some part of Florida. It was a very small part, and while Florida is always questionable, if you know, you know. But this part I was just really nice. I was like, oh, okay, this is different, and I was able to be like on a sailboat and everything, and I was like, this is cool. And I cannot swim, so I was very stressed about that part if something happened because I'm a warrior. But it was really nice to kind of just be like, holy crap, who thought I would be on somebody's like boat just chilling on like whatever. And so it's always like that kind of like I definitely think if you can do it, do so.
Hmm.
Is there anybody you would like to wrestle that you haven't wrestled yet?
Mm. It's weird because I didn't go into the business with like dream matches and shit like that. I was
Um,
just to me personally, I feel like I live out the dream every time I'm able to perform. But if I had to choose dream matches, my original trainer, Amazing Red, for sentimental reasons. Uh I would say John Cena, but you know, running against the clock right there. Uh but no, I want to wrestle. I would love to wrestle a lot of the guys that I came up watching, your AJ Styles, Randy Orton's, Rey Mysterio's of the worlds. But I just want to challenge myself. Like I want to get better. And the best way to get better is by wrestling the people who are at where you want to be. So I want to wrestle everyone, honestly. I want to wrestle that guy instead of that guy. No, it's like give me everybody. So that way I can be better and I can prove all the shit I talk. Because I do talk a lot of shit.
yeah, listen, I'm a shit talker too, so and I can't say anything. Like I definitely do talk a lot of shit to people. Um, what it's like? What would you say with regard to how I guess you go coming into wrestling and starting? What would you say? I guess the biggest challenge you have you or you might have had like coming in from the beginning kind of not knowing and then now as you're like every year you're growing and doing more stuff, what is the biggest challenge for you as a wrestler?
I think it would be navigating the personalities in wrestling, honestly. There's holy shit. There's a lot of wrestling personalities. It's kind of like, I don't know, high school cafeteria. You have so many different cliques and shit like that. But yeah, I came into the business and I was like 22, but still a kid. I think I weighed like 117 pounds or some shit like that. Uh, I had no business in the ring. Um, and I dealt with a lot of body dysmorphia, confidence issues, stuff like that. Stuff that, here and there I still deal with sometimes, and I may allude to it here and there on socials or whatever. But apart from those things, the main thing wrestling has really taught me is resilience. There's a lot of times where I feel like, oh man, fuck this business, I'm gonna quit, fuck these people, fuck this, fuck that. And for whatever reason, like I just woke up the next day and was like, you know what? Nah, fuck them. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm gonna do. Um, and I think that is the most, yeah, the most perishable thing I can grab from wrestling as far as like lessons is the resilience because it's bled into my outside life. Um, I've sacrificed a lot to still be in this business, and that is like romantic relationships, friendships, etc., etc. And every time I thought like, man, this is the one that's gonna break me, wrestling always just found a way to pick me back up. So I would say resilience is the biggest thing wrestling has given me.
Okay. So if you don't mind, like just a little bit more, you mentioned I did see some of your posts about the body dysmorphia. And so what have you been, I guess, I feel like anybody who struggles with any kind of with self issues or any type of mental situations like anxiety or depression, whatever it may have you, sometimes it can be very challenging in general. I feel like we're also in the age of social media. And I think social media doesn't always help those type of situations because as much as you don't want to compare yourself to people online, you do. If it's the way a person seems like they're doing, if they're like, oh, they got these many followers, or they look like they're living the dream, or they look a certain way, I feel like sometimes it definitely makes it worse for people who might be struggling at times, even though it can also be a very good thing. Um, how do you, I guess, get through, your feelings about that? And what would you say to anybody who might be struggling? Because I've seen that with a lot of people. It's a lot of men, honestly, I've seen, and I feel like in wrestling in particular, I've seen say this. And so, what would be your advice for them, just for them to navigate it? And what have you done for yourself to try to navigate, even when you kind of feel that a little bit now, still like just navigating out of that space of seeing that your body is fine and you're, all those things.
Um, Personally speaking, what I did for myself, I went to therapy. Um, my mental health was in shambles. Wrestling was not fixing it. Um, wasn't making it worse, I'd say. It was just more so I'm stubborn. So once I decided to go to therapy and talk about my shit, just letting it go was one of the biggest things ever. But then just, learning to talk myself out of those feelings, learning how to how can I put this? Believe when people give you compliments because sometimes we'll accept a compliment, but we won't believe it. Um, and then also too was like looking in the mirror and being like, hey, your body isn't where you want it, and that's probably causing a lot more of this too. So, what can I do on my end to kind of reassure myself of that? And it took a long time of like figuring out gym routines and workout plans and eating and not eating and blah 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 blah. I still don't think I got it together now. But the combination of just therapy and letting others reassure you, I feel like it goes a long way because we are in a business where like, aesthetics matter, sex sells, blah blah blah. We gotta look good all the fucking time. And that shit gets tiring. But at the end of the day, though, like we do that. Like there's if you look at Battle Club, right? There's a lot of people who have fixed their bodies, who look amazing, come in all different shapes, forms, and sizes, but they all look amazing and perform amazingly. And I would say that's the biggest thing is just, obviously let go of all the shit on your shoulders. Allow your friends and, strangers and people to reassure you. And then at some point you just gotta be like, man, fuck the other noise. And that's really what it was. I just started saying like, fuck that noise. Excuse my French.
I definitely I'm with you with therapy. I tell people all the time, if you can go, go. Like I go to therapy as well, and I have my own shit, nothing to do with wrestling, but like just
Not
like
yet.
you know,
But also
if
be
you can
honest
go,
too. Like be honest with yourself if you go to therapy. Like do the work. Don't just think that you gotta go there and they'll magically fix your problems for you or some shit like that. Like, nah, you everything is work and you'll get what you put into it. But if you put in the work, I mean,
I'm gonna have to clap for that one because listen, let me tell you, I've been telling people this for years. Like you have to work at it. Like yes, it's fine to talk to somebody, but if the person's always like every situation is like kind of validating you in every form, I'm gonna have to be like, okay, you kind of need therapists sometimes to like this might be on you, and what can we do to be better? And I feel like that's something that's like really important. And like my therapist is pretty good at that. Where like I'm like, it might be me, and I'm like, okay, and then what can I do to do something differently the next time, or do this differently the next time? And so I definitely with you on that one. Do the work, go to therapy, and definitely accept compliments. I cannot accept a compliment still, so I understand it's very hard sometimes when people say things. I'll be like, "Oh, thank you," but then it doesn't register, and so I definitely understand that. Like, I felt that super close, super to the heart there because I definitely have a very hard time accepting people's compliments, or even I'll be like, "Okay, yeah, whatever," and then like off to the next thing. Like I can compliment somebody and like mean it 100%, but then me, I'm like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" So I get it. I definitely
nah, you gotta
understand.
accept love. It goes a long way. Of
And thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you opening up a little bit about that.
course.
We're gonna do a quick little speed round. I'm gonna like ask you questions. Tell me the first thing that pops into your head.
Got you.
Okay. Are you morning bird, night owl?
Night owl. Easily.
Last show you binge watched?
Last show I binge watched was Invincible. So good.
Okay, yeah, absolutely top tier show. Your favorite snack you always have to have no matter what?
Oh shit. Uh there's Uncrustables from the supermarket, the little peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. My road wife, Kaluta, he put me on and crack.
I actually do not like them. I feel like it feels like what is it for me? I feel like it's a different level of like an actual homemade peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's so different to me that I feel like I can't eat them because I'm like, this doesn't feel legit,
They're
But I
good
get
on the
it.
road when you're feeling lazy and you gotta be quick. Just grab a
Yeah,
couple.
to
That's
be
it.
fair, sometimes those road stops, like, oh, okay, what are the options? I definitely, I
Yeah, it's
understand that.
like it's like, do I eat the Uncrustable or the gas station hot dog?
Yeah, eat the thing that you know is not going to send you in the bathroom or something. Absolutely. Um, what is the last song you had on repeat?
Snooze by SZA.
Okay.
I'm a lover
What
boy.
is what is your workout song? The one song that comes on every time you hit the gym.
Johnny Dang by the Mexican OT. It's
Okay,
my
all right.
tag theme song, but also that shit is just fire, dog. Shout out Paul Wall too.
Okay, I respect it. Oh, Paul Wall is great. He really is. What if you can have a conversation with any person? Who would it be and why?
Any person alive right now?
Any person alive or dead. Doesn't matter.
Shit. Uh fuck, that's tough. Hmm. Off the top of my head right now, for whatever reason, I'm getting Roman Reigns. Probably just talk to him about like how to market yourself as a top star, get all that paper, work the states, real shit. Show up,
No hassle for Roman
get
Reigns. So
cheered,
yeah,
what's some ass. That's it. Get paid. Should all be so simple.
as his shirt used to say, wreck everything and leave back. I said
Facts.
some questionable things when that trick came out, so I'm gonna say. I said so cool. I said some questionable things. I definitely did. I was wilding. What superpower would you like to have, and why?
Like, cause I be lazy as shit. I get tired of walking. I get tired of driving. I get tired of trains. I get tired of it all. If I could just, if not flying, the teleportation, bro. Like, I just need to get there. Shit. I don't know what it is, but everything just seems so far away now. I don't know if it's because I'm just always tired all the time, but like everything just feels so fucking far away now.
No, I hear you. I hear you. It does. I'm like, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do this today. I definitely hear you. It
Yeah.
could be also because we're getting older. Because I feel like I wasn't always this about things, but I feel like I am now. That could be a part of that. Like we're just getting older. Like everything's this. But yeah, okay. I like it. I like it. Would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
It depends on the occasion, but usually I'm introverted. I'm my mom's only child, so I was usually by myself all the time. So I don't want to say I don't need people, but I'm very used to being by myself. Uh, I have moments where, I can be extroverted and shit like that, but once that shit happens, I need like at least a day to recharge. So I'm definitely introverted.
Yes, fellow introverts unite. I feel like it's weird because I always say like I hate being on camera. I hate talking, and yet I do a lot of things that require me to be talking and on camera. And so, like afterwards, I always feel like, all right, leave me alone for a while. I just need to take a minute by myself. So I definitely hear you.
Honestly, honestly, same. If I, di- it's weird. Like naturally, my personality. If I didn't have to be in front of a camera, I wouldn't. But yet, the only thing that seems to make sense requires me to be in front of a camera.
Like I'm sitting here like talking to people and having to be on camera, and I hate both of those things. Like keep me back. So people don't have to see me. So I definitely understand. Um, what would you say is your favorite movie of all time?
The Iron Giant. Um, I think that's first. I saw that movie when I was really young, but I like fell in love with it. And I think during COVID, I was going through a rough mental time, and it just happened to pop up, and it was kind of one of those moments of like, it just made me feel all warm inside, and I was like, man, this fucking movie is fire. So definitely the Iron Giant. Uh, Honorary mention to Baby Boy. I had no business watching it as a child, but shout out BET, and that became one of my favorite movies.
Oh, Baby Boy makes me so mad. It really pisses me off
Yeah,
so bad. I'm like,
that movie is so
why? Like,
ratchet. You're like
it's
Jody.
so like, I'm like everything about this. I'm like, oh my god, why? Like, why is this? But I
Yo,
definitely read that movie down to the ground.
no,
Definitely
no
did like
funny
almost
shit.
every day.
You're
Every day
like
that movie
Joe,
was on. Like,
little Jody. I know all the words to that movie. It's insane.
and sometimes I think about that scene of him like in the kitchen, and I'm like, my guy, like I, just randomly when he was in the kitchen, like nothing on, and I'm like, my guy, why? Funny, but why? like,
No funny
my
shit.
guy, you just get real comfortable in the kitchen. Um, what would you say is the one thing you always would like to do? Like it's just your favorite thing to do when you just have some downtime.
Go play video games. Honestly, um, I'm very Uh, yeah, I'm very low maintenance. I'm a very chill person. Like, I don't need to do a lot to be, I don't know, good and like chilling and shit like that. But like, you give me some good weed, good video game, I could stay there forever, honestly.
Okay, okay. And so, what would you tell somebody who wants to get into wrestling? What advice would you give that person?
My first bit of advice would be take a deep breath because it's about to be a long fucking ride. But no, on a serious note, I maybe this goes into my whole new generation of thinking or whatever, this new wave of wrestler, but I would just tell them like the only one who can say you can't is you. I've been told so many times in my career that I can't do something or that I'm not good or that I can't be where someone else is or I can't last 5 minutes with this guy. And for the most part, I've proven everyone wrong. And I have no sports background. I wasn't out here, basketball captain and shit from junior high. Like, nah, I was just a kid who loved wrestling and didn't know what to do with himself and said, fuck it, let me try. And 10 years later, what are we in June? Yeah, we are in June. My little Wrestleversary is coming up at the end of the month,
Nice.
so it'll actually be 10 years. But yeah, 10 years later, like, I'm here. I represent two companies as a champion. I have been managed by Prince Nana. I've shared the ring. I mean, I've shared locker rooms with the Hardy Boys and Rey Mysterio and people like that. Um, so if a 117-pound poor kid, Spanish and black kid from East New York can do it, why can't you? Like, for real, why can't you? So don't let nobody tell you you can't do that shit.
Love that. Like, oh, so speech. But no, I agree. I definitely feel like sometimes the only thing stopping you is you. I feel like sometimes you have to just like say fuck it. Um, Again,
Yeah,
it's a lesson I'm still trying to remember. Like sometimes I'm like stressing about things. I'm like, no, it's fine. Like you got this. You've done more than you thought you would have done a few years ago. So,
exactly.
so my last question for you: what is something you want to say to the wrestling world? What do you want to say to them? Like it could be Battle Club locker room. It could be any locker room you have ever been in. What do you have to say to those people?
Mm, okay, I guess I'll address a couple different things. To the Battle Club locker room, you're welcome. I know y'all mad that me and Federated running shit, but look at the results. Bigger shows, better matches, talent coming back. So hey, we did that. You're welcome. To the PPW locker room, same shit. You're welcome. Cause we got Nana, we got sold out shows, we got better talent. It's the Rem effect. Again, you're welcome. To any locker room that I will be in the future, you're welcome because I am an asset. I'm gonna only make your company better. I'm only gonna make you better. I should have been everywhere. I am gonna be everywhere. I'm not going nowhere. Main event Rembrandt. I'm here, baby.
You heard it, guys. You heard it. I respect it. I respect it. Thank you so much, Rembrandt, for coming on here, chatting with me for a bit.
Thank you
Tell
for having
everybody.
me.
This is a super awesome conversation. Truly was a fun time. Tell everybody where they can find and follow you and what new shows will you be at in the next few weeks.
Got you, got you. So if you're lucky enough to find me on Facebook, it's my government name, and I'm not gonna tell you what that is. So good luck. As far as everything else though, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. Uh Whatever the website is, backslash the Rembrandt underscore. On Instagram though, it's three underscores because somebody from Guyana hacked my account and now they selling Teslas on it. So don't follow that one. Follow the other one. Make me famous. Give me more likes so I can get signed and I can live a beautiful, beautiful life.
Yeah, that was crazy with the account thing. I was like, oh, okay, we were straight
Yo,
to.
that shit got me so mad.
No,
Like,
I
come
was
on,
pissed
bruh.
too. Like of all the things, of all the things to put in there, Tesla. I'm like, oh, this is where we do it. Okay.
Right. You gonna get me kicked out the hood.
But again, thank you so much for coming on, for chatting with me. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Appreciate you opening the veil just a bit. And
Always.
and you guys, I will have all the links in the description. The next Battle Club shows and the PPW shows I will also have in the description. So go support wrestlers need your support. Go buy some merch. Go buy some Federated merch. Patricia
Yes,
approves, guys.
sir.
Patricia approves.
Oh,
Patricia
real quick
approves.
before we go, we just need to bow our heads real quick. Take a moment of silence for the Scott Ricans.
Oh my god.
I told you so.
I mean, yeah, they're cool. I do like them, but you did say, and
And I don't
So yeah,
lie.
so we'll take a moment of silence for the Puerto Ricans. It was a good run, guys. It was a good run. I feel like I did one of their first interviews, which is so funny. David told me, and I was like, really? And apparently it was like the first match they had together, and I didn't realize I interviewed him, and it was only because KJ was like, "Yo, Kat, can we do one?" I'm like, "Whatever." Okay. So yes, it was a good run, guys, but I guess on to greener pastures. So what are we doing?
Facts. Get him out of
But
here.
I will have all the links in the description. Definitely go give Rembrandt a follow, give Federated account a follow. Check out Battle Club Pro. Check out PPW Entertainment. And again, Patricia approves. Okay, like my girl Patricia, she's in the
She's a
street.
real one.
Yeah, she just she approves. So if Patricia approves, that means I have to approve as well.
There you go.
Until next time, guys, I will catch you later. Bye.